And part of the clean-up operation north of the border is being led by legends of rugby league and the current CEO of the Gold Coast Titans. Both have joined us now. Please welcome Steve Mitchell, who is the Titans CEO, and the legendary Mal Meninga, who is on the show. Sorry, Mal's going to get a bigger cheer than everyone, but nice to see you guys. Mal, how are you, mate? And how proud are you that the rugby league community's responded to the effort in the past few weeks?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Well, it doesn't amaze me, to be honest with you. It was expected, I guess. And, you know, from my point of view, you know, it's a great community, the rugby league community, the fraternity, and we get behind. Although I was actually involved in the 2011 floods there, Paul, when you made that the transcript, you know, prior Rockley, where I lost all my memorabilia, and I just seen how it can galvanise a community, how the spirit of, you know, everyone is there to support you and help you get through it.
GC, if I could have blood transfusions to be a Queenslander, I would. It'll be where I retire. Darling, can we leave soon?
We take everyone.
Yeah, good. I'm all there. I'm all in. I'm so GC to my core. But what did you do? What did the team do?
It was quite extraordinary. I mean, this is our heartland, and this is one of our major communities. We were here. We had a trial match with the Warriors only just last year. A lot of our kids had come through this area, come up through our programs, and a lot of the people come to our games weekly. So we moved fairly quickly. We cancelled our season launch, and we moved the cost base of that across to a fund that'll help the junior participation piece. But then on top of that, with our game last week, we did $10 from every ticket sold to the Warriors game. Basically went to the flood appeal, and that'll come through Biz Rebuild. Speaking of the business people here tonight, the situation they're in is just dire. So Biz Rebuild will help there, and also Give It, which is a charity that'll help actually mums and dads at home. So that was raised over the Warriors game, but we had Village Roadshow join us on that as well. So it ended up going to $20 per ticket. So the sum total of the three parts, it was nearly $200,000 that was raised in a couple of weeks. So and that needs to be, you know, we need to get that out quickly because we're conscious of the fact where people are at the moment, the stress.
Yeah, I mean, it's that thing, Mal, as you said. I mean, when your experience when it came to Rockley and the people that you know that have been affected by this stuff. We all know that flood is part of living where we live, but sometimes you think it's going to happen to somebody else, but when it happens to you, the impact couldn't be greater, and that's why we've got to come together as communities and respond and not forget, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, Paul, you know, as human beings, we need to have some certainty in our lives. You know, feel safe and secure. So, you know, with the support of those around the, you know, people in the community has been, you know, devastated by these floods in particular, that certainly comes from each other, you know. So I remember travelling down to Lismore a few weeks ago and just hearing stories. You know, you sort of open your heart up and you listen to their stories, and they want to tell their stories. It's part of the grieving process, and, you know, some of the escapes were just miraculous and amazing. And it's sort of, you walk away from those communities wanting to do more.
Yeah, Steve, I mean, that experience that anyone who has visited as part of the response or looking at things, even today, just walk up the main drag, that shop, that shop, that shop, that shop, this street, that street, you know, the epicentre of it. I mean, normally when something happens, you can see the one place hardest hit and then sort of the butterfly effect afterwards. Yep. But you can see, as I said, you know, the chicken shop. That's. I mean, this pub doesn't have power tonight. This is all stuff we had to bring with us.
It's extraordinary, and I mean, even when you fan out and you get to the places like the schools that aren't operating at the moment, the other schools that are adopting those kids and trying to put all those kids together and deliver an education service to those teachers that have all been impacted and had their own homes inundated and don't have a home, that are trying to manage twice the class numbers, and the stress levels, I think, in the community are very, very hard to fathom, and our hearts bleed for them.
Good stuff. Lads, thank you very much for the chat. All the best, and thank you for helping the area. Really appreciate it. Good on you, Steve. Good on you, Mal. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. All the best for the season.